Hey everybody, it's Glidercat and it's time to play. Today we're going to start a Let's Play here on Kingdoms Reborn. As I record this is still an early access game, but let's just dive right in and get started. I'll pick single player, new game, and let's see, I'll click this for some magic here. That's kind of interesting. All right, map size medium, that's fine. Sea level looks all good. I'm going to go with the defaults here and click generate world. And I'll click world ready, start game. I did get a key from the developer on this one, so I appreciate that. All right, let's jump in here. It says that the Great Freeze left civilization in ruin. Very few were strong enough to withstand the cold and plague that claimed the earth. Decades have passed since the frost took our lands, and our courage and hope have returned with the melting of the ice. It falls to us, we surviving few, to rebuild a flourishing civilization. Cheers to the new beginning. All right, we need to choose a starting location. Okay, tutorials can be opened using the top left question mark button. Show me how. We'll look at that. WASD here to move around. That makes sense. Q and E to rotate. And then I also noticed in my first little playthrough that we can use the center mouse button as well. Pressing that down, we can rotate the map. All right, we'll close that. We'll choose a starting location. And so as we look on the map and we hover over these little icons here, we can see that different regions are suitable for different things. A lot of these are cocoa and dye. So we just want to find a place on this map. And here's the full map that we're going to be playing on. Find a place that looks interesting. I've got some coal here. I've got some iron here. Cannabis farming. Dye. This actually looks kind of nice through here. Although I think these mountains are going to be a little bit of an issue. Let's see. It'd be nice to have kind of a flat place to spread out. This is a candidate, though. I played this game one time before, starting this recording, just to get familiar with it. And I did do the metal and coal. So I'm a little familiar with that. I'm kind of inclined to do that. There's not much resource here along this stretch. Got a bunch of resource here. A lot of farming. We've got some gold. That's interesting. Coal and iron. So this looks pretty promising through here. It's a little deserty. I kind of like being near this coal and this iron. So let's go ahead and grab. We'll start right here. Okay. It says this is a grasslands province. It's a biome filled with grasses, flowers, and herbs. Although erratic precipitation makes the land unsuitable for farming, the dense grass makes this biome ideal for ranching. Fertility is only 19%, so that's not great. But we've got coal. And let's see, resource amount, 17,000 coal. We can actually make coal out of the trees, so it might make sense to start on the in the area that has the actual iron available. Then we can expand down. There's a lot of flat area here, which I like for housing and stuff. So maybe we'll start here on the iron. And like I said, we'll be able to get the coal ourselves. All right. This one's got 48% fertility. Okay. Same thing, right? Grassland province. Yeah. So we read pretty much all of that. All right. Let's just dive in and get on it. Okay. Confirm the initial resources to start your colony. Let's see what we got. Oranges. We've got 2180 coins to spend. I'm just going to call that dollars. $2180. We've got wood, medicine, steel tools, stone. We're going to be able to get steel on our own. Medicine is a little hard to come by until we trade. I might grab a little bit of medicine. We don't want to spend too much of this money either. It's going to allow us to expand. So I'm going to buy a little bit of medicine, and I think that's it. We can collect food. I think we'll be okay with all of that. Yeah, let's keep around 2,000. So let's say, okay, we unlocked a bridge. And here we go. There's our little town hall card. We'll pick that and place our town hall. It takes up a big part of the map here. But we'll just drop this down, maybe over in this corner. Let's see here where it's going to let me plop it. There we go. Okay, choose a card. Wheat seeds, investment. We get 30% income. Oh, that's kind of nice. Or a trading post. That's also very helpful. This is a global, let's see, plus 30 income. I'm going to go for this investment, and I'll show you how these cards work. We're going to be able to slot these cards, this particular type of card, because it says it's a global slot. We'll be able to slot this into our town hall and reap this particular benefit. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, they're giving us another card. So we can do cabbage seeds and iron smelter, which we are going to need. But I think that card's going to come up for us. These ones over here to the left, or this one, this productivity book, these are a little harder to come by. So I'm going to opt for that one. And that we can put in any building. And we'll see how these work in a second here. Submit, choose that one. Okay, would you like some guidance? I'll say sure. Okay, new quest, build a food producer. People require food to stay alive. To build a food producer, click the card stack on the bottom right of the screen. Choose a food producer building, move your mouse to the desired location, and then left click to place the building. Okay. Close that. Okay, there we see our townspeople. They are running around complaining that they don't have housing. So I'm going to slow the game down a bit to just one notch here. In fact, I could just pause it. Let's pause it till we get started here. And just take a look at the lay of the land here. So this is our starting little territory here. We've got the mountains, and that's where we're going to mine our iron. This square, or this tile, or whatever you want to call this region has iron available, and it's near the mountain. Now, some of these trees you'll see have fruit on them. These are orange trees. We can collect the oranges for food from these. And there's a building that will allow us to do that. We'll probably see that pretty soon. Then we've also got a bunch of these birch trees. And these are just good for, from what I can tell, these are just good for wood, and we're definitely going to need it. So those ones we're going to want to cut down. We may want to leave the orange ones up so we can harvest food from those. But then the tutorial here is asking us to build a food producer as well. So let's go ahead and click the flashing card here. And now it's showing us which two things, cards that we currently have available, will give us food. So the way the game works, I don't know what the period of time is, we can see as we go, but you'll get a new set of cards, and those represent the buildings that you're able to build. So if I want to build a mushroom farm, I got to wait till a mushroom farm card comes up, and then I need to purchase it for coins. And once I do, that'll kind of put it in my hand down here at the bottom of the screen. So we've got two cards in our hand right now. We've got an investment card, and we're going to end up slotting that into our main headquarters here in a second. And then we've got a productivity book that will slot into one of the buildings that we eventually build here. So, and this will become clear as we continue and we play on, but it's actually kind of a cool mechanic. So let's see here. So we've got mushroom farm or fishing. Now, I don't know that we can actually drop. I'm just kind of trying to look at the map here. Now, we may be able to put a fishing building over here on this coast. I just don't know. The mushroom farm, I think, is a little bit safer as far as a likelihood we'll be able to find a spot to place it. So I'm going to pick that one. And I could buy multiple if I wanted. But you don't want to get your hand. You're only allowed to have, I think, 6 or 7 cards down here. And then you either have to use them or sell them off to free up space. So I'm just going to, for now, grab the mushroom farm. I'll hit submit on that. Boom. Okay, great job. You bought your first card. Card selections automatically refresh every round, and the round timer is shown next to the card stack. 2 rounds per season. Okay, the round timer is here. It looks like we've got 60 seconds left in this round. And this will, again, all make sense as we go. Now, before I hit play again on the game, let's look at our town. It's showing we've got 14 laborers. And this is the total population here. There's 18 people, 14 of which are able to do labor. And if we look way over at the top left, we can see that same 18 and 14. So here's the 18 people. 14 are adults. Those are the workers. And we've got 4 children. We got 18 people and no housing. And then we've got some storage here. 8 of it's full, and we've got 4 storage slots available. And I imagine that's these 4 tiles we see here that don't have anything on them as part of our little town center here. And we can expand the storage later. Okay, so I'm going to click on the town center, and let's see what it says. Okay, we see the card. See this empty slot here? And I just noticed this as I'm looking at it. The cards have different shapes. So this one's got a rounded corner here in the top left. Well, here's one in our hand that's got a rounded corner in the top left. And that's the one we just got as a bonus. So I'm going to just, with the town open, I'm going to just left click on this or primary click on the investment. And boom, that card pops into our town. And now we're getting a bonus of 30%, 30 income. And I imagine that's every round. So this kind of reminds me a little bit, if you've played the Anno games, it used to be, they'd have little slots in the warehouses and things where you could place bonuses like this, and it was kind of a limited number that you could do. So that's what these cards remind me of. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this town hall to level 2 right off the bat. Let's see what that does. Okay, it doubled our income for one thing, so that's nice. And it says we've unlocked the following cards: wheat seeds, cabbage seeds, snatch, buy wood, and sell food. And snatch is to steal resources from another town, I believe. I've not done that yet, so we'll just see how it goes. We saw the income double, but we also got another slot for a card here. So you can kind of see how things progress. As you upgrade your town, you're going to be able to install more of these buffs, more of these cards that help you in some way or another. And we'll see more of those as we play. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. We're still paused. Now it says unlocked priority button. Okay. Click it to switch the building's priority between 3 states. Default worker allocation, prioritize working here, or don't allow working here. This is just going to control, if you have limited population, I guess, where your workers are going to go work. We'll see that in motion in a little bit. You can also specifically set how many workers you want in each building, or the maximum number of workers, I guess. So we'll see that in a minute. That's it for the town hall. I'll click off of that. I'll close this little context menu. I'm going to stay paused for a second. All right, we've got these orange trees. We've got the mushroom farm card that we should probably find a place for. There's not a lot of room here in our little starting territory, so we're going to want to expand. I'm just clicking on some tiles here. I see these tiles. I just want to see. So we've got grass, and we've got fertility is 36. I'm not sure if the mushroom farm requires any kind of fertility, because the mushrooms actually grow on like planks of wood. So it doesn't really, I don't think it really requires any kind of special terrain. Early on here, I'm thinking of actually trying to buy up some extra space. So if I click on these little grid sections, and they're not hexagons or anything, but if I click on them, you'll see it'll tell me that, oh, this is a province. Here's some details about the province, and here's what it costs to buy it. So for 1,038 coins or dollars, we can expand into this region. It might be worth doing, like right off the bat, because we need some space to put some things down. I think I'm going to take a chance and do that. I may regret it later, but I'm going to buy that province. Now we've got a little more space to work in. And I am going to, I'll explain here the bottom menu here. There's a few icons. Excuse me. So we've got demolish. That's kind of self-explanatory. Select that, click on a building or a tile or a road, and it will destroy it. Then we've got gather trees, stone, and etc. So if I click this one, and now I select a region on the map, basically it's telling our laborers here, the ones that haven't been assigned buildings, to go fetch this resource and bring it into storage. So I've just told them to go collect this stone up and put it into inventory. And that'll help clear out that space for us. We need to do that with some of these trees as well. So let me just pick a few trees. We're going to need the wood. Kind of don't want to take out the orange trees if I can help it, because that's going to get us food. But eventually we can replant more, so it's not the end of the world if I get a few orange trees in here as I'm picking trees to cut. I can kind of recognize the birch ones because they have they have kind of like a fork here in the stem, or two trunks that kind of split off. So I'm just going to pick some of these while we're paused to queue up some work for my laborers to do. There's one hanging out in the woods there. So let's get some of this birch out of here. We've got a lot of territory here now. So I think we're in a good spot here as far as starting. All right. Mushroom farm. Let's go place this guy down. And you'll see that little light section at the very bottom of the icon, the building icon, as I'm moving it around here. That is going to be a path. So I can just pop that down. It's going to turn into a road. And I can rotate with the R key and make this any orientation I want. But I'm going to kind of come up this way. Plop that down. Okay, quest completed. Build a food producer. Superb. After the food producer is built, it will start producing food. Okay, well, that makes sense. Okay, new quest. Build 5 houses. Citizens require cozy housing to survive. To build houses, click the build button. Choose a house. Move your mouse to the desired location. And then left click to place the building. Okay, it's worth explaining a couple things here. So for the mushroom farm, we had to have one of those cards, right? We saw the deck that we could pick from, and I could have bought more than one thing, but I chose to buy the mushroom farm. Purchased it. We had the card. I placed the card just like I would place a building, and now I can't place any more mushroom farms unless I get another card. It's a little different with the houses and the storage. So we already saw the gather icon here, and we saw the demolish. The next one over is build houses, farms, and infrastructures. So if I click that guy, and they've got a little tutorial icon here drawing our attention to it, I can build roads, and they don't cost anything. A house, that takes 20 wood to build a house, and that's our mission now. We've got to build 5 of these guys. And then I can also build storage. Costs 5 wood for each little block of storage. So that's one of these squares here, like you see. And then I can build a bridge, which is $300 or coins, but no resources, no wood, no stone, and allow citizens to cross over water. I haven't built one of those yet. I haven't had a need to. We'll see. It's kind of interesting that it's just a fixed amount of cost, and then you can just bridge a whole area. Maybe we'll try that later. I don't want to waste the money on it now, but we are going to need to build some houses. And I'm just thinking, what makes sense? Where does it make sense to do that? We got a great big region here. Now, this one is going to cost us, it's going to take a little bit of cash to expand out in this area. 602 for that one. This one's not giving me a price to buy it because it's not adjacent to something that I already have. So in order to expand, you gotta expand from where your borders are. You can't just go buy plots of land way out here. You might be able to later in the game. I think there is a perk that you can unlock that will allow you to start another town, but we'll get there when we get there. So we've got some space up here. Let's see. I'm thinking of keeping this area for production. So we've got these trees and things. We're going to be chopping down wood. We'll put foresters down to plant more trees for us, and then maybe some fruit gatherers so we can gather these oranges up and feed our people. But we need a hub here. We need a place where we're going to put some houses. So kind of like in the Anno games, if you're familiar with Anno, I'm mostly familiar with 1404, and I have 1800, haven't played it yet. Or not much. But as we lay out our town, there's certain buildings that'll have a proximity effect that lend bonuses. So, for example, I think there's a library building you can place, and all the houses within the range of the library get a bonus. So we've got to keep that in mind, too, as we're putting down these houses. So right now, I'm thinking we're going to expand over this way with the housing off to, I guess, the left and maybe to the north a little bit. So let's just go ahead and plop a house down. And again, I don't need cards for these. I can build as many as I want or queue them up. And I'll just do it so the paths line up. Maybe I'll leave one block spacing between so we can run a path between those. And we'll just plop down our first house. And I'll do a road in between here just so we've got a pathway. And maybe, oh, we'll just see. All right, time to hit play. Let's let our workers do their thing. In 58 seconds, we're going to be able to choose from another set of cards. Okay, let's see. Build houses is still blinking. So they want us to build more houses. We're going to hold off on that. We're going to do it, but I just kind of want to wait till they actually get some work done here and then see what cards we get, because we may want to build some more food collection stuff before we do all those 5 houses or the rest of the houses. So we've got our productivity book here. This gets us a 20% boost in productivity. We could throw it into the mushroom farm once this is built. So that might be something we do. Or we might do it maybe at the forester or something, some other building that we come up with. So I'm going to hold on to that card for now. All right, we'll let our guys do their thing. I'm going to start out kind of slow speed, and then we'll speed it up here soon. So I'm just waiting for this 22 seconds to go by and see what the next cards we have. So right now our workers are gathering that stone that we marked for collection, and they're bringing it back into the storage that we've got available. We are going to need to build more storage before too long. Now, I don't know if there's a way to see which trees we already marked. Oh, yeah, they'll have little dots. So this little icon here, this little guy floating right where my mouse is an indication that that tree has been marked for resource collection. So let's do a couple more while we're waiting. And I'm just going to kind of purposely just try and pick out the birch trees, because I want to be able to gather fruit from those other ones, especially early on. All right, so now we've got a flashing card. I'm going to pause it. We've got 145 seconds, I guess, before our next round, 143. So we'll click on the flashing deck here, and it's going to show us our options. So now we've got 5 more cards we can build or potentially purchase, and we can purchase as many as we want. So there's our fruit gatherer. We've got fruit in the area. Let's get that one. Now, Snatch, we saw it says a steal coins equal to the target player's population. Use it on the town hall. I haven't tried that yet, and I'm not sure if you select another player's town hall and then try to slot this card in it, or how that works. We may get to that a little bit later. I don't want to do that just yet. Buy wood. So right now we've got 66 wood. If we wanted to, we could spend 50 coins and then buy wood for half of this, which is what, like 340. Spend 340 coins on top of that to get some more wood. I don't think we need to do that just yet, but if we were desperate, this might be something that we would do to quickly get some wood on hand. We got that fishing lodge again, and we got another mushroom farm. So if I buy the fruit gatherer, and I hit submit, then that's it till the next round. I have an option here to do a free shuffle. So I could just click that and we'd get another 5 cards to choose from. But I don't want to risk losing this fruit gatherer, because I know we need that. So I'm just going to purchase that. And that's it for now. I'll hit submit. Boom. That card comes down in our deck. We spend whatever, the 40 coins or whatever it was. And now let's see where it makes sense to place this guy. So I'll click on it. And you can see as soon as I click on it, it's showing me all the trees that have fruit ready to collect. So we might want to put this somewhere where we think we're going to continue to have a bunch of trees. So maybe down this way. And maybe what we'll do is have this region kind of on the south here, bordering up to this mountains. Although we're going to have iron here too, some iron mines. But let's maybe put this down here, and then we'll have some workers collecting fruit from all of that area of effect. And then we can put, like I said, maybe a forester nearby to plant more fruit trees. So I'll drop this guy down right here. Boom. That's queued up for construction. I'll hit play and we'll get back to it. So I have several buildings being built. Oh, so another thing, while we're watching all of our workers collect their stuff and with their house icons above their head complaining that they don't have a place to live, there's another thing we can look at here. So we've got 4 builders and 10 laborers. And right now, there's a button next to each one that says auto. So auto means it's going to let the game's going to decide how many people to set as laborers. And in this case, we've got them both set to auto. So it's going to decide for all the people you've got available that aren't working in buildings, the game will decide how many you want as builders, how many you want as laborers. I actually prefer to do this manually. So I'm going to switch this off to manual. I'm going to keep the same ratio. And I'm going to bring this up to 4 builders. And then the laborers I'll leave as auto, actually. So whoever's left, just go ahead and assign them to laborers. But I want a minimum of, or I want exactly 4 builders. So laborers are the ones that are moving all the resources around. They're collecting the trees that you mark for resource collection or chopping down. And they're moving resources all through your village. So it's important to have a good number of these guys. Otherwise, your village is going to kind of slow down. Like, product will be just sitting around and not being collected. And then the builders, they do pretty much just what it sounds like. They're doing the building. So I'm going to leave that at 4. We'll see how it goes. Now, the game is complaining that I've got food at level 0 here. So we haven't built our mushroom farm. Maybe I should have, at the very start of the game, bought more food. Remember, we had that option to spend some of our initial funds on food. So right now, we're kind of stuck, and there's a chance some people are going to starve. That's not great, but it's not the end of the world. We can try and collect. Let's see, we've got our fruit gatherer coming online here soon. We've got our mushroom farm hopefully coming online soon. Both of these are being built. I'm going to go ahead and pause the game quick because we've got a bunch of stuff flashing. So let's go through it real quick. It says unlocked research. Acquire science points by increasing the population, upgrading houses, or building libraries. So the reason why this just popped up is because our houses are one of the ways that we actually accumulate kind of like research points. And there's a tech tree. We'll look at that in a second. But that house just got finished being built. And so now we're able to produce research points. If we look in the top left, we can see the number of research points that we've collected so far is right underneath our gold or our coins or dollars. And I'll refer to it different ways all the time, probably. And we've got none so far, but we're going to start collecting it. So I've got the house selected. And eventually, once these people are kind of settled in, we'll see this number increase for the science collection and the income collection. We'll see that in a little bit. Let's go to the tech tree. So now we can choose a research. So here's our tech tree. Looks like there are 8 eras in the game so far. I don't know if this is going to change. We're still early access. Looks like there's 8 different eras. And we're in era 1 at this point. And then for the little pop-up, you can see it says unlock 4 technologies in era 1 to unlock era 2. So as soon as we've researched 4 things out of this column's going to open up and we can research more. And kind of the same way as you move down here, right? The more you unlock, you start moving to these whole new categories of text you can research. And you can always go back and research more after you've done 4. So let's take a look at what our choices are. We've got improved wood cutting, which gets us a 20% wood harvesting yield. We haven't put down any woodcutters, but we're definitely going to. So that's a candidate, and wood is a resource that's really important early on. The villagers use it to heat the homes, and then, it's also used for constructing a lot of the buildings and things, I believe. All right, what else we got? Foreign trade, increase the number of immigrants by 20%. Okay, so that's going to help increase our population. Right now, I'm not too keen on doing that because our food reserve is low. We've got mushroom log sterilization. So this will decrease the mushroom farm's wood consumption by 50%. So we've already got a mushroom farm, and it's going to consume wood to make those mushrooms. And I mentioned that wood is kind of a scarce resource, especially early on in the game. If we use it for a lot of stuff, but this one is very attractive, even more than the wood cutting, to me at least. Okay, then we've got Boreal and Tundra Expedition. So this is going to reduce the cost um, of what it takes to buy those provinces that fit these categories. So these different provinces fall under different categories. Two of those categories are Boreal and Tundra. And this, if we research it, just allows us to pick those properties up cheaper. Spyguard has to do with spying on your rival colonies, and we'll see those in a little bit. There's some on the map. The people who are also just starting up their colonies on the same map that we're competing against. Medicinal herb seeds. Okay, this is going to unlock the ability for us to grow medicinal herbs. And we'll need that. Remember in the beginning, I bought some extra medicine. So this could be useful. And then we've got potato seeds. And that's going to unlock the ability for us to farm potatoes. And potatoes, I think we can use those for food. But down the road here, you'll see we can actually use those to make vodka. And I think that's it for potatoes. But out of all these right now, this mushroom log sterilization looks the most appealing to me. Just because I know I want to conserve the wood. And we're probably going to have a few of these mushroom farms. So we'll pick that one for now. No, we can get to the other ones too later. I've still got the game paused. And let's see, we're already coming up at the end of this very first episode. So what do? We saw the full map. We started a brand new game. We saw our full map. There's one of our competitors here, by the way. You can see the town name. And I've got the ability to, I guess, send them a gift or do some diplomacy. I haven't even used that yet, so we'll see. Maybe we'll explore that as we go in this series. And let's see, is there anybody else we can find? There's another town down here. Borghild. Same thing, gift or do some diplomacy. So we got a decent sized map we're going to be looking to conquer, I believe. And we are down here. So we picked our spot. We chose a place with iron resource. I think that's going to allow us to build, to make tools. And that's really valuable. And they're valuable for trade. And we also will use those as our town grows. And then we're next to coal. We've decided to purchase that province. It wasn't too expensive. So we've got access to coal if we want. We can also make coal on our own from the trees. We'll get to that. And then we set up our first mushroom farm and our first house. So, and we kind of saw a little bit. We cleared off some stone. We saw how that works. We saw, a fair amount of the GUI and the different mechanisms of the game. And so next time, we're going to next episode, we'll pursue building some more houses. We got to go after our food situation, right? We've got food reserves are low. And we'll look at some other GUI components here, like this little guy running. I'll explain that next episode. But for now, yeah, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. This is our first episode in our Let's Play of Kingdoms Reborn. So for now, this is Glidercat signing off, saying I will see you in the next episode.